Spoken mate, I haven't thought about flying for a long time. I haven't dreamed of that moment when I was alone above the clouds for a long time. I haven't dreamed of waking up in a room surrounded in blue and green grass for more years than I could dream of remembering. I haven't walked back into the past or scratched on the doors of my origins, where it all came from, since I held up that cape for the last time.
Return to Kent Town 10th Year Anniversary Edition is a revised version of Andy N's first poetry book. The book can be purchased from Amazon and it contains numerous additional material.
Spoken mate.
Hi, it's Andy N from Spoken Label. Spoken Label was originally set up at the beginning of 2016, and records show it started off really as a one-off podcast chatting to writers, poets and artists. Over time, it became monthly, then weekly, and occasionally nowadays it goes on that to a more regular basis. To date, I've done over 330 sessions, and I'm always looking for new poets, writers, artists, singer-songwriters, general interesting creative people to come onto the podcast. You can find this on all the usual networks over Apple, iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, Podbay, and dozens of others. But it does have a central database of Spoken Label, which is all one word, .bandcamp.com. Obviously now, to help me with the running costs of this podcast, I'm always grateful for any kind of donation to assist me with it. You can either do the donation through the Bandcamp page by putting in a fee to download one of the free podcasts, or send it over to my PayPal to aen1mpo@yahoo.co.uk. My email address again is aen1mpo@yahoo.co.uk. Enjoy the podcast. Take care. Bye.
Spoken mate.
Hi guys, Andy N. Spoken Label. Not at home today. I'm on location in a wonderful venue, and I forgot the fucking name of it already. It's a good start.
Rewind.
No, don't worry about that. Right, it's only me. It's the Manchester Lounge. See, I got it right. I remembered eventually. Then I've got the fantastic Amy Langley with me today. Now, Amy, people don't know, we've known you about 18 months now, Amy, haven't we? So. Yeah, and I first got known to you who's coming to speak our night Speak Easy, and you came on I think once, didn't you? Then it just kind of you kept going and going and going, haven't you? So and I know you really like the night, so and you're one of our favourite writers, so it's a pleasure to have you on today. Now, to start with Amy, for people that don't know you, then you'd like to introduce yourself to everybody. Tell them where you're from originally, because I know you work here sometimes. You also work in your company's head office in Swindon. And then you live in Whitefield and your family's from Warrington, is that right?
Yeah.
You're all a bit all over the place,
yeah,
really.
Sure, yeah. So I was born in Warrington, but I tried to escape as early as I could. I think I was about 17, 18 when I left Warrington. But further back family, not immediate family, they're from down south, so Wiltshire, countryside. The parents moved up here. Well, my dad moved up here for uni and then my mum followed.
Ah, right. Yeah. So were you actually born in Warrington?
Yeah, I was born in Warrington.
Yeah, you've not got a really Warrington accent, because I know people from Warrington, that's why. I used to work with people.
It's a bit of a non-accent, which is good in some ways.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's like, it's not a Manc accent anyway, that's for sure. So, yeah. But, Dulcimer, tell us about your creativity then. I know you've been writing for quite a while, haven't you?
Yeah, so I take my writing history back to when I was about 5 years old. That's kind of what I would say. Might have been a bit older, but I always say it was 5. Well, going back to what I just said about my grandparents living down south, so I used to go for 2 weeks in the summer holidays. So I've got 3 brothers, so I'd go with my youngest brother. We'd have a week at one nana's and a week at the other.
Oh God, yeah.
So we'd go and do different activities, but it was very tranquil, very peaceful, lots of birds singing, and then I would have a little book next to my bed, and then I'd be a bit inspired, so I would just hear the birds singing and I would just write. So that's kind of where that started. And then through primary school I used to write, and then I'm not sure if it's a regret or a nice thing that I did, but I wrote a big volume of work in primary school, and I gave it to my favourite teacher, inverted commas, and I was thinking about him yesterday, not really knowing where he is now, but or if he's still alive, because he probably would have been a bit old then. But yeah, so I did that, and then when I was 18, I started on the Manchester open mic scene.
Oh yeah.
So there used to be a bit of a circuit on a Sunday night. So there would be Dr. Livy's on High Street, which is no longer there. I actually think all of these places are no longer there.
Usually, but you have found that over time, haven't you?
Yeah,
really? Like
so we did Dr. Livy's, and then after that we went to Arch Bar in Hulme, again that's no longer there.
Yeah.
And then after that we'd go back into town and go to a studio and just chill out and just like bounce off each other.
No, it's fair enough. I think it's nature of the beast, isn't it? Like with time, a lot of places have gone, haven't they? Particularly over lockdown itself as well. Cause like, how was lockdown for you a couple of years ago then? Because I was like, I know you never use Zoom, you don't like it at all,
no,
do you?
So during lockdown there was a lot of meetings for work on Zoom, and I used to fall asleep for them actually, to be honest. So that's why it tires me out.
No, that's fair. No, it does. I think nature of the beast, those sort of things where that after a certain time your brain just switches off.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like, I do a lot of I've been working nowadays, and I've just left a job that was full time at home. And I was sat on Teams meetings, and I struggled like hell with it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so during lockdown, because of the nature of our work, so we work with young people with challenging behaviours and mental health difficulties, so it wasn't a case of actually working from home during lockdown. I was in the office. The only time I worked from home was when I had COVID, so I was off for probably a week or 10 days, and mainly crashed out on the couch, so there wasn't a lot of work doing really.
Oh God, yeah.
So the rest of the time was in the office or going out to see young people at times if we needed to drop supplies off. So work-wise, it didn't really affect me, apart from meetings changing to Zoom or Teams.
Yeah, it was the same for me, because like the job I was doing at the time, I had sent me home because of diabetes and said, go home, ring us up once a week, let us know you ain't dropped dead. And we won't furl on you, we'll get work to you. It took them 6 months to get work to me, but I was podcasting and writing all the time, so it was great. But how did it impact your writing then at the time? 'Cause I know you took a break from your writing at one point, didn't you, as well?
I would probably say, so I did do, like I said, the open mic scene when I was 18, a few years, and then was about what happened, so I was 22 and I went into mental health hospital.
Right, yeah.
So I did a lot of writing when I was there. I went to the Priory in Wiltshire. I was there for 6 weeks.
I've heard of the Priory. I know someone else has been in there as well, so yeah.
It was a bit like a 5-star hotel, to be honest. It was quite snazzy, and the meals were very nice. But I ended up doing a lot of writing, and I would actually write poems for other people about them that they could take away with them.
That's good,
and played a lot of Scrabble.
As you do.
With other patients. So I think the writing kept me going, and I think through mental health struggles over the years, that's really what's kept me going, and it's been an outlet.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Really. Whenever your work is, it is very, very frank with your work, and I respect and love you for that. Like that's what since then it's just everything you need is there for you, really, isn't it?
It is. As I always feel, I don't really have a massive circle of friends. I'm not even a big one, let alone massive. But I feel that with a pen and a paper, you can let out your feelings and your thoughts without somebody coming back to you with their opinion, because a lot of the time you don't really want someone's opinion. You just need to let go of what you're feeling and have an outlet, and that's what writing does for me. Yeah, you can do it. There was a case at Speakeasy recently. I know you wrote the pieces in the afternoon. You told me you read 3 short pieces. I think each one was brilliant. I loved every one of them. I actually wrote one just before I went on. Yeah, I remember you doing that as well. You said that. Oh, I can't remember when you did. Told me, tell us something. When I arrived that night, you were not long behind us, and I sat there. You were sat on
on the back of just off the stage rising. Bloody hell. I could never do that. So I'm dyspraxic, and like if I go on stage and not fully prepared for it, I end up making a twat of myself on stage. That's why. But yeah, have you found that over since that time in obviously private, has your writing style developed in as it, or has it always
yes,
been?
I think one of my uncles came to visit me once, and he knew about my writing, and he read some of it. He went, "Oh, it's a bit of a backhanded compliment, I guess." He said, "Oh, it's not as. I think it's better than." He said, "Oh, it's better than I thought it would be." Like, "Oh, right, okay, cheers."
Yeah.
And then he tried to say, "Oh, could you not write anything happy?" And you know, to force an emotion out onto a piece of paper, it's not really a done thing. I can't really go, okay, I'm going to write a happy poem. It don't really work like that.
No, it's not.
You
Because
write how you're feeling, but what I have done over the years is not just written about myself. So I've written about the young people, or I've been inspired by the young people that we work with. And also one of my friends, she's given me, like, say, bullet points about a person that was their birthday or a special occasion for them, a baby shower, and then I would then turn those bullet points and think about it and then write a poem on it, and then she would then gift it to them.
Wow.
So that's pretty cool.
That's great when you do it for people like that, because I think it shows really, like, I mean, you think anyone's writing really. It's not to say I hate the word developed, it's crap, but it shows you how you can channel your work to a different direction.
Yeah, you can diversify it. Yeah, definitely.
That's why. That's brilliant. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And you feel like when you've done that, you feel like you've helped them out, then, don't you? So.
Yeah, absolutely. And not long after I'd been coming to Speakeasy, I met April Manderson, and she invited me to a writing group. So,
we love April, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, she brought her daughter along a couple of months ago, Speakeasy.
Yeah.
It was brilliant, because
she's
her
great.
daughter was lovely, but you can see, like, she's looking around thinking, my God, I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah, so since I started going there, I would definitely say my writing's developed, and it's also given me a avenue to develop it. A platform to do that would be the open mics, but having a bit of a workshop to do that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes having prompts or having someone to guide you or to teach you different things, because we have a facilitator and things like that, so that's really been great, because I've been able to develop more content through going to the writing groups, because we write like 1 or 2 pieces during that session, then I find myself coming to an event and then using those pieces, so it's really good.
No, you do. It's like I've run a number of workshops over the years, but I told you before, we're at a theatre group along me and Amanda are, and they did a workshop there the other week before last it was brilliant. They had us writing loads of play extracts, and it's not something I've done a lot of myself before, so like a good workshop will challenge you to try and write in a different way, won't it? Or do it a different way. So
I wrote a monologue for a friend recently. He just gave me one line, and then he needed a monologue to perform for an audition, so I wrote it. It doesn't take me too long to write things, really, so it might have took me about 15 minutes, and then he was really impressed, and he said his agent was really impressed with it as well.
You did something right then, didn't you, straight away?
Yeah, I've actually, going back to, was when I was in high school, I did drama, and, I think 60% of it's coursework, 40% of it is all the other way around.
It's probably about right, that, because
60-40.
part of my degree, I did a degree years ago, part of it was half theatre studies, and I remember certainly it was about 60-40 towards the theory side of it, that was about right, that.
But I wrote and performed a monologue for my piece, and that was cool.
I know, it's like, you do something like that, it's a big challenge to yourself as a person. You're thinking, like, you're doing the monologue, you're not writing like you're trying to do a character, aren't you?
Yeah.
The character may still be you in a hidden way, but one
of the things I would really love to do, but I don't think my brain's wired that way to do it. I'd love to be able to memorise and be able to, really go out there with what I'm doing, but either I'm too busy, or I can't get my head around memorising. But when I used to do it back in the day, I used to do the same one every week, so then it become more familiar. So what I've done is if I'm doing one that I've done many times, I might have a point where I'll look up and be able to engage with the audience more because I've done it quite a few times.
Yeah, same for me that, because I did one with my band on Friday, and my band's just got going again now. We haven't been absent for about 6 years, and we're doing pieces that we did 12, 13 years ago, and I can't remember my stuff with dyspraxia, but I'm familiar with the piece. So you know what you mean. You know, you get to a certain point thinking, right, I know I have to pause, look at the audience. Oh, the next stand will be roughly this, and I can come back to it again. Doing that way, as you do, you get more comfortable with it.
I do find there's a bit of acting, or what I think I like to call it performance poetry as well as spoken word, because I like to put a lot of feeling and thoughts into what I'm projecting out there.
No, you really do, Amy, with your work, and that's why it's like, even if like you're in character or not, and most of the time when you'll speak stuff, it's not, you're talking about yourself, and you're candidly honest, and I love you for that. I think it's brilliant. But you can feel the emotion coming through it. Even if you're just reading off your phone, everything you were saying, it means something to you.
Absolutely does, and I feel it's important to have an impact on people, that even if it's one line out there, sometimes people come up to me afterwards, and I remember one time a lady came up and said, oh, my niece has just been diagnosed with bipolar, and it really resonates what you've said, and that's magic to hear something like that.
No, you do. It means a lot, that you get that.
I think it's good as well to not only impact people, but to educate them as well, because so many people have such stereotypical views of what somebody with a mental health illness is like, or, oh no, that person's got bipolar, oh, big like X, stay away from them. But to hear what it's like, I think that is really educational and informative, and they can go away from hearing that piece, and that could really change their perception.
No, I agree. I think poetry has to be an education thing, whether it's you talk about yourself or if it's things people can relate to, and that's usually job's done then, basically. So.
Yeah.
Now, I know you've not just read in Manchester, have you? So, I know I remember seeing, was it last year you did some reading in London? Didn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's an organisation or CIC called Mind Over Matter, and I did that in Camden a couple of times, and it was really great. And it's actually that provoked me, I would say, to start my own Instagram, because after the show everybody was coming up to me going, oh, what's your Insta? I was like, I don't have one. So then they had a WhatsApp group, like, oh, let me add you to this WhatsApp group. There's hundreds of people on this WhatsApp.
Wow. So your phone's going ping all the time.
Yeah, it is, and it says Poetic Collective, and there's all these different things going on. So, yeah, I did Camden a couple of times, and then that Mind Over Matter also does Manchester as well.
Is that the hip
hop chip shop in Ancoats? That's on the first Tuesday of the month, I think it is.
I've never performed for them, but I've met the lad that runs it, certainly, so yeah.
Is Anna... Lucy Barks that runs it in Manchester.
I've heard a guy running. Yeah, no, I'm going talking shit normally. So sorry, Lucy. I have met you definitely. I know someone's running.
Yeah, she's lovely. And then I've also done BYOB in Box Park in Wembley. BYOB stands for Bring Your Own Bars.
Oh yeah.
That's at Box Park in Wembley. That was great. Yeah, that was a different experience. It was really good.
I think you do when you go and read in other cities and stuff, like you're seeing complete different crowds, and a piece that may reacted one way in Manchester may go down a completely different way in London, for example. Because I've read London before as well, so I
do find it's good to get out of Manchester sometimes. Not that I don't love it, but it's good to just get out there and do something somewhere else.
No, yeah, completely. So, would you like to read in any other places in England? Would you like to read in Europe or something someday, maybe? I don't know. Honestly.
I haven't really thought about going outside. Yeah. But I'm going on holiday to Jamaica soon, and if there's any opportunities there, that would be quite cool, really.
Oh yeah, that'll be great fun, that. So make sure you get some pictures took with you, because Amy Langley, international poets.
Yeah, I mean, I could do it. My friend could record me on the beach doing something. That'd be cool.
Oh God, that'd be a great idea. Do that, definitely. So no, do you have any ideas where you like your creativity to take you next then?
I think I'd like to develop my YouTube channel a little bit more. I haven't really put it out there much because I need to put stuff onto it. The name I gave it was Looking Through the Window.
I like that.
So I'd like to put lots of videos on there. Potentially it'd be nice to maybe do a website. I mean, what really put me off a while ago with actually doing it, putting anything out there, is that fear of negative comments that might really get upsetting, but I've actually never had any.
I've never had a lot. I've had the odd one, but you don't. It's
so then when I
as I would say,
it's
just wankers basically.
Yeah. So I've never really had any on Instagram, and it's going quite well. And it's quite a good platform on Instagram because
I like it.
you see people posting about different nights on there. I think more so than Facebook possibly.
Yeah, you do notice that more on Instagram nowadays, certainly. So,
yeah.
Have you tried using TikTok or anything yet?
Absolutely not. No, I think I'm too old for that.
Well, if you're too old, I'm older to be a dad probably nearly, right?
I doubt it.
Well, I'll tell you after in a minute how old I am. That might horrify you, right? Yeah, but no, it's like TikTok. My nephew uses that and he's 15, so.
Yeah, it's not for me, that one.
It's eye-opening, anyway, yeah, but I know what you mean. Yeah, Instagram's great for that, yeah.
I'd like to do some writing workshops with young people. That'd be nice. Yeah, teaching other people about how to express themselves through poetry, just passing on a talent, really. It's not about boasting. I'm not boasting I've got a talent. I do believe that everybody has got a talent. Like when you're born, everyone's got something.
Yeah.
And then what you've got is something that you can either enjoy or help others with. And I'm a big believer in helping other people.
No, same. That's where coming to Speakeasy, we're the same on that.
Yeah.
We want people. Well, we can announce this now, Amy. You're going to be guest hosting the main one, which this podcast we're going out after that anyway. But at the moment, we've got 5 new people reading now.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And 3 of them I've never read before.
Oh, that's really good.
That's what you want. You want people. Yeah. That's what we're there for. And I think you're great for that because I can see you encouraging people all the time with it.
Yeah.
Definitely with that. So,
really good.
Right, what we'll do is we'll let you do the hard sell. So you told us obviously bits of what you're up to in bits and pieces. If people want to find out more about you, obviously, where's your YouTube channel again? First of all.
I need to give it a proper handle and stuff first, so I just direct people to my Instagram, which is at Amy the Poet, all one word, _. So at Amy the Poet _.
Brilliant. And do you want people to know your Facebook account as well, or Facebook page? No, fair enough. Stick to Instagram then. Track it down on Instagram.
Purely my poetry stuff.
Yeah, that's fair enough then. So brilliant. Well,
and places that I'm performing regularly is Speakeasy in Dulcimer, which is hosted by Andrew and Amanda and Steve. And then there's Pull Up, which is the first. Actually, I don't know what date that is.
Who just Pull Up?
Pull Up is the lady that owns it. Is Sharon.
Sharon, that's it. Yeah, yeah. I've been talking to her again.
There's Sail Right Out Loud, which I've been doing since December.
I saw that. Yeah, you've been going there about it.
Yeah,
you did a headline spot for Sarah over there, didn't you?
I did. It was brilliant. It was really chuffed to be asked actually.
She's dead nice, Sarah.
She is.
Got a lot of time for her to honest you. And I do like I've headlined a couple of times there over the years, honest you, and it's nice. The bar area is really nice.
It is, yeah. I think it's probably the most civilised venue that I've performed at, to be honest.
Yeah,
in terms of the aesthetics and stuff, it's great.
We ended up doing a Speakeasy takeover there last year. We did.
Yeah.
Because she had to go and stand down. Sarah did because I think her sister had died.
Yeah, she had a couple of bereavements in a short period.
I think her sister died and
her mum did as well.
Yeah, she can't. And we ended up. I didn't want to take it over because I'm not in that way inclined. But we got Mike Boob. Do you remember Mike? Mike hosted it 1 month through. And basically, I just booked it for him. So just told him to speak to this person, speak to that person.
She's quite keen for other people to do takeovers. Yeah. So there's the regular one to do is Pull Up. There's Sail Right Out Loud. Sail Right Out Loud is the third Monday of every month.
Yeah. And
then obviously Dulcimer the first Thursday of every month.
Yeah.
And then there's the Hip Hop Chip Shop, which is Mind Over Matter, and that's the first Tuesday of every month. So it seems like there's a lot going on in the first week of the month. So I'd like to do more throughout the month.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have something going on.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. I think we do Speakeasy. We go to one in Stockport the week after.
Yeah.
Then anything else after that is a bonus really. So yeah, I know what you mean. You do like it. When all the first month you're like bang 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 and you knock it out then.
The Switchblade as well.
That's a Sunday night.
That's a Sunday night, yeah. That's coming up. They're doing names in a hat, so you put your name forward and then they draw it out if you're going to get a slot or not. But it's quite a unique concept where you perform somebody else's and then you perform your own.
Yeah. There's other nights I could recommend you to, but we'll come on to that in a minute anyway.
Yeah.
So, right, we'll take a quick break, guys and girls. When we come back, you're going to hear something very different now. Not the fact that Amy's a very different poet, which she is, but the way she's going to do is, I'm looking forward to this comes out on the phone. So, see you in a minute.
Spoken label.
And the end, spoken label, the fantastic Amy Langley. Now, we're going to do something I've never done before with spoken label now. This is going to be interesting, because Amy is not going to be sitting down reading her poems out to me. She wants to give me the full theatrical experience, don't you, Amy?
I do, yeah.
So, what I'm going to do, guys and girls, if you wonder why the phones are moving, because Amy's going to stand up on the other side where we're recording in this little lounge and deliver the phone straight at me, so like a personal audience.
Absolutely, yeah.
And also what we do, if you wonder, guys and girls, I'm shouting now, I'm going to aim do all the poems and move the phone back and we'll talk about all four of them. Go for it, Amy.
The first one's called 10 Weeks, and it is based on my experience of 10 weeks in total of being in a mental health hospital. It was 6 weeks in one and then 4 weeks in another. So here goes. 10 weeks of isolation, 10 weeks of violation, 10 weeks of endless interruption, 10 weeks of psychological corruption. Scheduled days, a punishment for my precarious ways, an alignment for every time a mind strays, the final act of a most graphical of plays. Desperate screams, all my hopes and dreams washed away through streams. Intrusive people knocking at my door, where was I? Every day, not always physically, but overcome with emotion, I chose to cry. So many questions, endless expectations, multitude of inspections. How did I feel? Was it all for real? Were those endless days of sacrifice all part of the price, or simply part of the deal? You see, I'm far from understanding any of your medical jargon spiel. 10 weeks on, can't believe the pain and suffering hasn't gone. 10 weeks on, still am clinging on by a rope, running out of hope. Waive my right to anonymity. You can't come near me with any of your superiority. Love, kindness, peace and happiness, that's now my speciality. Trust has to be earned. That's one significant thing I have learned. To have someone special, someone I can treasure, a love so close. Ignore the instructions on the bottle, don't take it as it says, keep slipping. Crimson tears are dripping from my heart. Flashbacks of that overdose. Memories come back. My heart holds on to them so close. My thoughts no longer seem to matter. You mistake it for psychological chitter-chatter. My heart is still broken. You haven't heard the words that are unspoken. Like a mirror being dropped, I felt it shatter. Now who is left to pick up the pieces? Don't think I'm over it. This is not the beginning, nor is it the end, where all evil deceases. People asking, days so tasking, memories everlasting. Wish I could replace all the badness with endless amounts of gladness. Now it's a case of, don't speak about. All of you really make me want to shout. You really don't understand. Always wanting to take the upper hand. If I were you, I wouldn't even try to comprehend. Your show of disbelief brings to me no sense of relief. I'm fighting back with tears. I felt like this for so many years. All that has been spoken cannot account for all the infinite words that have been unspoken. All the things I long to say. From conformity, I want to stray. Wish I could make tomorrow a brighter day. All the words I want to release. Seems my body was put up for lease. War wounds inflicted, images depicted from a story I long to tell. All the pain and suffering I endure. You implied it was my choice. I was never allowed to express myself with my heartfelt voice. On my exit, I know that was not the end, that's for sure. Every day wondering, is there more? Or simply not if, but how much more is in store? You don't have the answer, you label myself as a chancer. Wish I knew why. The reason daily I cry. So much to live for, that I know for sure. Flip the coin, see the other side, take me for a joyride. It's so hard to decide, all the times I lied, all the times I was tongue-tied. How many times was I denied? Countless reasons, running out of steam, such low self-esteem. So much to die for, 10 weeks on, still I try to hold on. 10 weeks on, can't erase any of my past. One thing I've realised, it will never last. Wish I could pick up a gun and set it ablast. Significant times, countless times, intuitive rhymes, mainly rhymes. Can't speak, seems everywhere I go, it's havoc I seem to wreak. Sorry this time I can't turn the other cheek. Please listen for a moment, allow me to speak. One day the truth on my very heart and soul will reap.
More. Seriously, got excellent stuff, Amy. On to number 2 then.
Cutting edge, stood on the ledge, which way to think, up or down, tears or laughter, which is it today? The latter I do pray. The life of a roller coaster, fuel diagnosed, perpetually posed, subliminally prosed. A prescription, a daily dose of ups or downs, in tears or laughter, which shall I drown? Fill myself up with positivity, maybe I can overcome the tears that punch out, that fight to reach the surface. Some call it bipolar, or is my energy solar? And sometimes I'm shining, a ray of light feels so bright. Other times my mind feels so tight that I can't think right, that the world becomes overwhelming. Catch me on a good day, that I pray. Catch me on a bad day, run a mile, that's what I say. Mood swing back and forth, can't be joy that it's supposed to bring. Deemed as an illness, but at times I call it a thrillness. It's a nasty old business, always longing for a day I could call bliss. Mood changes, thoughts become outrageous. How do you deal with this? Look in the reflection, longing for deflection, turn the other cheek. Surely every day can't be bleak. Oh sweet child, so meek and mild, in a blink of an eye I question. Why, oh why? Is this for real or simply a lie? A misdiagnosis, maybe. Maybe I'm crazy, or maybe sometimes my good mood gets lazy. But unintentionally the fog takes over and everything gets a bit hazy. You'd never know, as no type is the same, type 1 or type 2. Which one are you? I'm no one's case study. I'm no Miss Goody-Goody. Hidden in pain, override it with multicoloured rain, wishing all the badness would wash away through the rain and run down the drain. Emotional overload. Don't look at me and try to goad a reaction for your own satisfaction. One side of me wears a t-shirt saying, "This bitch bites." The other side says, "Cuddle up to me, I'm full of electrolytes." In case you hadn't guessed, this is my soul undressed. When I wrote this, I was far from distressed. I hope you heed the words and take a genuine interest. This is all about living with bipolar. How about we raised awareness instead of being overcome with scaredness? Surely all of our idiosyncrasies are full of sacredness.
Brilliant stuff, that. Really loved the end of that one, and completely, Amy. Really powerful.
Thank you.
Onwards and upwards.
Who am I? Searching for the reason why daily I defy the odds of survival, but rather allow me to create a new word, thrival. I'm thriving, I'm not surviving, well, that's in my dreams anyway. I am different. Who am I? I defy the odds. I've endured far worse than pokes and prods. It's kind of hard to look in the mirror. My shadow lacks that sun-blessed shimmer, yet it lingers over me like my only friend. Am I living in or with my shadow? To break free from my past, do I allow? I am tired. Who am I? A writer, a fighter, a passion igniter, a constant need to keep busy. Yet what's my purpose? What's with all this fuss? I've always thought if I keep busy, I'll keep a certain type of focus. But to be busy for busy's sake just gets me dizzy. I am living a lie. Who am I? I'm a sufferer and a survivor. I'm suffering from depression whilst fighting the oppression of a place to fit in. I'm suffering from depression while enjoying the ride of elation, hype or mania. Yes, indeed, my energy sometimes feels solar. I am bipolar. Who am I? I'm a mother with no physical child. Mother's Day, that's my worst day. I bear the scar, many years may have passed, but the pain forever, it will last. On replay, scenes from that day repeatedly play. I'd lost all I ever wanted. Yet I have an angel, a strength that cannot be matched, a guiding light to help me fight. I am Grace's mum. Who am I? I'm a writer, a performer, I'm a creative being. In me I am believing. I can't see further than tomorrow. Only this week for myself I set myself a timetable to follow. The taste of bittersweet anger is sometimes hard to swallow. The ground I stand on is far from fallow. I am all of the above. My heart is bigger than most. It's filled with an abundant love. I am me.
Love the acceptance at the end of it, that I am me there. Brilliant stuff.
Thank you.
Okay, the finale. Boom, boom, boom.
Hunger. What to eat? When to eat? If at all I should eat. Is it actually food I long to eat? I'm hungry for a new journey, a new destination. I'm hungry for happiness. I'm hungry for no fake smiles, no nodding and agreeing. I'm hungry for freedom, freedom to express, not to impress, well, only myself. If I'm at all to be honest with my reflection, I'm hungry to experience the newness that each day brings. I'm hungry for new journeys that requires new vehicles. I'm hungry for enjoyment, real good times. I'm hungry for fulfillment. I'm longing to satisfy my hunger.
We'll take a seat in the hot seat, Amy. Now. How was that for you, Amy? doing a good private gig then, basically.
No, it felt like it, yeah. It was good, yeah.
No, brilliant stuff, that. Now, I loved all the quite frankness. People heard it then, basically. Frankness, you talk about your mental health there and that. And I also loved the little hip-hop bits and pieces that cropped up in it as well in places there. But you're writing the beats, aren't you? Like in your own head a lot of the time.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
No, fantastic stuff. Now, before we wrap up today, there's something we forgot to talk about before in the first half.
Yeah.
And you told me about this in the second, during the break, didn't you?
Yeah,
about
I did.
your forthcoming plan for a book.
Yeah, so I set myself a New Year's resolution, as a lot of people do, but I started it early. So in December, I said I want to go to more spoken word events, more open mic nights. And then a lot of things got me thinking. I've got a hell of a lot of material. Like I said earlier when I was in hospital, I wrote 2 big volumes, like display books, A4 ones, about that fit.
Wow.
2 of those. And they're actually all split up into different books already.
Oh, yeah.
They're already sectioned up.
Wow.
And then I've got lots that I've written at writing group and stuff. So I've got a lot of material, so I would really like to get a book or a series of books published, and yeah, I feel that it'd be good for people to be able to read, not only just to hear on nights out, but to have a takeaway to listen
I think it's a great
meditate
idea.
on. Yeah.
I mean, you should look at doing some sort of spoken word album on top of it anyway. So
I have actually done some with music in the background as well.
You didn't, that's another thing you didn't tell me about before. So before we wrap up, then tell us very brief about that then.
With the music one, I've done some visuals, which I've curated the visual of it. I've done it all on my phone, and then put the audio on top, and then like my voiceover and stuff, and it's quite effective, really.
Okay.
I'll show it you after.
Yeah, I'd love to. Send me the link over. Is it online? Is it? Or?
No, got it on my phone.
Oh, show me before we go, definitely.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
yeah.
Okay, well, we'll wrap up this point there. I want to thank Amy today, because it's took us, 18 months to get this organised, hasn't it? So it's nature of the beast to me sometimes, just trying to pin me down to do stuff. But it's been a pleasure, certainly. It's long waited for me, and it's been worth every minute of it today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you again, Amy. Okay, guys and girls, as Don Callis Impact Wrestling says, take care and stay over, and we will see you all next time.
Spoken, mate.